More comedians turned horror directors. Please. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions. Today I'm going to give you my review of the sophomore outing from writer director Zack Cregger, Weapons. But before we get started, please leave a like, and at the end of the video, if you think I've earned it, please subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new review. Now let's get into it. Weapons has one hell of a hook. One night, at 2:17 a.m., 17 of the 18 children in Miss Gandy's 3rd grade class suddenly got up, walked downstairs, and ran out into the darkness. What follows is a deep dive into how those disappearances fracture the small town of Maybrook, Pennsylvania, showing us the fallout from multiple perspectives. Julia Garner's Justine Gandy, the teacher whose class just vanished, now the town's pariah as she desperately searches for answers. Benedict Wong's Andrew Marcus, the principal of Maybrook Elementary School, trying to manage the fallout while promoting peace and order in the midst of all this unrest. Archer Graff, played by Josh Brolin, a grief-stricken father hell-bent on finding his missing child. Paul Morgan, played by Alden Ehrenreich, a local cop drowning in personal demons that gets mixed up in the chaos. James, played by Austin Abrams, a homeless junkie that wants no part to do with any of this. Alex, played by Carrie Christopher, the only kid left, a near-silent witness being questioned by everybody around him with no chance for any peace. And without spoiling anything, there's also a surprise character here who turns in one of the most unsettling performances I've seen in a while. That person only appears in a handful of scenes, but they stick in your brain like a splinter. Only after all of these narratives weave together does the full picture emerge, and trust me when I say getting to that point is a hell of a ride. Zack Cregger's name has already earned a lot of weight in the horror circles, thanks to his masterclass in building suspense, dread, and pure insanity in Barbarian, alongside new filmmakers like the directors of Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, the Philippow brothers, or the director of Smile, Parker Finn. So when news of Weapons dropped, I was instantly sold, and I still am. That said, this review might be a little shorter and not as detailed as my usual deep dives. This movie just works best when you know as little as possible going in. So let's talk about the cast. A-list performances throughout here. Julia Garner brings her signature intensity that she had in Ozark here to Weapons, crafting a broken, paranoid, and heartbreakingly real performance as a teacher scapegoated by her entire town. You'll definitely believe that paranoia, and you'll find yourself scanning the screen wherever she goes looking for someone waiting for her. Josh Brolin is phenomenal as Archer, a father driven to extremes by grief. He's flawed, desperate, and his arc with Justine's character is actually beautifully raw and refreshing. Alden Ehrenreich's Paul is a cop that is just loaded with bad impulse control and his own personal demons. But despite his flaws and how he's not really that great of a person, he's magnetic to watch because of how complex this character is and how naturally he plays it. Austin Abrams James is a disturbingly believable depiction of addiction and desperation, making his presence more heartbreaking than annoying, though he does get a lot of laughs in the movie. Benedict Wong's Marcus is a principal trying to keep the school from collapsing into chaos. His patience is razor thin, and watching him get very close to cracking is very compelling. With that all being said, Carrie Christopher's Alex might be the most complex character here. He's a kid just trapped in a daily nightmare where there's no escape, delivering a haunting, traumatized performance that lingers. Moving beyond the characters, let's talk about the screenplay. Cregger uses this eerie premise here as not just a hook, but as an engine to tell some deeply human stories. Each thread is thoughtfully woven together, and when everything clicks, the tone shifts so sharply it'll smack you right in the face. And the actual reveal of why all the kids ran out at night, I think it's pretty genius. It completely reshapes the genre of this movie and takes you somewhere you definitely didn't expect. Somewhere stranger, darker, and straight up weirder than you would expect from the first hour. The cinematography here is also gorgeous, painting this small Pennsylvania town with a quiet dread. The editing, sharp and purposeful, and never lags long enough for you to lose interest. And the scares, they run the gamut from genuinely effective jumps to disturbing imagery that'll definitely stay with you for a while. And let me say this loud enough for the people in the back. This movie is legitimately funny. No, screw that, it's actually hilarious. Whether it's characters having incredibly real reactions to the absurd shit that's happening in front of them, slapstick violence that is pulled off with surgical precision, or the straight up lunacy that unfolds in the last act, the comedy here always hits hard without breaking the tension. There's a lot more that I could say about this movie. Maybe I could do a spoiler review at some point, but I don't want to spoil the experience because it's so worth it to go into this as blind as possible. So, in short, this is one of the best horror movies of the year. If you're a fan of horror that gives you some scary shit and messes with your head a little bit while also making you laugh and feel, this isn't just a recommendation, it's a requirement. I can't wait to see it again, and I definitely can't wait to see what Zack Cregger does next. And that's my review of Weapons. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new review. While you're at it, you can scroll down the description below, find the links to my socials, leave a comment, and let me know if you saw Weapons and what you thought. And if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. I'll take you to my review of The Naked Gun, or just over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow, the third day in a row, for my review of Freakier Friday.